Oh boy, Duramax is coming outside for the first time in several weeks. It is an exciting day here on the channel. All right, we're not starting it because, well, all the piping's gone, batteries, battery trays, all that stuff. So I'm just gonna be super manly here and push this guy out. The other tire works better for some reason over here. Okay, it's a little slippery in the garage here. Thinking twice about that thing I said about being manly. There we go. Now we got a head of steam going up. Woo. Oh no, the crack in the driveway. That idea sucked from the beginning. Alright, so now most of you probably already know what we got going on here. We are going to start pulling the cab off this truck and replace it with the one that's standing up on its end over there, but we need the lift that's holding that up. So we're going to have to figure something out with that. Got the engine hoist for the other side. We're going to do this the same way as when we pulled the other cab, other than we're going to try to do it successfully the first time rather than almost dying. We're just old-fashioned that way, but it shouldn't be too bad. We just got to get the bolts down from underneath. These straps, if you're wondering, are just holding the fuel tank in because the rear bracket for the fuel tank, this has an aftermarket 52-gallon, I think, fuel tank in it, and the bracket was broken. We have another one already, but we just haven't put it on because we're going to pull the cab and everything off. There was no reason to. Obviously, up front, we got to work on heater core, AC lines. I think that's everything on this side. Over here, we got all of our wiring mess, even some aftermarket stuff that is unfortunate, and it runs, of course, straight into the cab, so I got to figure out exactly where we want to disconnect that, and if we want to keep it in the future or not. We are going to keep, like, I think we're going to keep the front light bar as well as the rock lights. All that stuff should stay on the truck, but just got to make sure we don't destroy any of those wires too bad. E-brake cable has to come out, shift linkage, and that should be about it. Oh, master cylinder, we're going to try not to destroy it on this truck like we did on the other cab, but really all that involves is just taking off the lines rather than separating it right here, which you can't do without destroying it. So, at least not that I figured out. So, I think we are about ready here to get under it and start pulling some bolts. And the main reason that we're taking the cab off today, obviously we had to no matter what, but we got to send the frame off. It's going to be taken on a rollback up to a body shop to be completely undercoated the proper way, so it's 100% good to go. Don't have to worry about rust in the future, at least not for a very long time. So that's the reason we're rushing through that. And then while the frame is gone, we're going to switch the interior stuff from this cab over into that cab if we get paint and everything. We got to get paint to paint the inside of that cab. But if we get that all done, we'll start switching interior stuff. And man, we're hustling through here. One thing I am going to do before we start really into anything is I want to pull these seat bolts out, because right now we can move the seat. Well, all right, if I turn my jump pack back on, we can move the seat, because it sucks to do this afterwards where you have to jump the wires and everything. So this will be a lot easier this time, which I didn't do on the red cab. See, you learn things every time you do something. Okay, these front ones that you can't get an impact on, but I bet it'll work if we put a Pittsburgh wobble on there. Oh yeah. By the way, the fronts are 15, which actually these are all Torx, but you can use a 6-point socket if you want to. The rears were 13, fronts are 15. Now with all those bolts out, I can actually take the seat out easily once the fuse box and everything's disconnected. The other seat is not a power seat, oddly enough, so that one we can slide later. Not a big deal over there, which means we gotta take a look underneath here and get all of the cab mount bolts out on either side. Oh, this one's jammed in here because of the strap for the fuel tank. And that's all bent, so I can't actually fit the impact up in there. We're going to tackle this wiring mess, and it really is a mess. We're going to definitely have this done a little bit better than what it is right now. You can see here, we just got them running into here. Like, this blue guy's a remote wire, I believe. There used to be a stereo because we got this guy here that runs just poked in through the firewall. I'm not a big audiophile type of guy. We got something else running here. That might be, I think this guy was for the rock lights probably there. And it actually looks like they must have been running an edge monitor at some point in the past, because that's running inside. So, I don't know. Just a lot of extra stuff here. And well, everybody, welcome Axel back to the channel. He's hanging out. He's an old guy. But he's a good pup. Once you get all of these cables, all these hot cables disconnected, you can just lift this guy up underneath and disconnect the main harnesses under here. So these guys are all 7mm. You do have to pry every single one of these things pretty good to get them out, even once you loosen the bolts. They're real tight in there. They like to stay. But then you can grab these little tabs right here. And you got the top of the fuse box. So, oh man, a lot of people probably aren't going to like this, but we're just going to use the little bit of tension on the car here to secure the cab. I should be able to take the lift out from the other side here. No real consequences. Worst case scenario, it falls on the front of the car.
We'll see here in a sec. Okay, it's off now. You might just want to check how it naturally kind of lays.
Yeah, it seems okay. All right, so we were rushing through here because daylight's at a premium here, but we got the AC off, we got the heater core lines off. All the wiring should be good to go. There was a ton of that extra stuff that I showed you before. He's just finishing up on the e-brake cable. And then the best way to do this, that we found out from the last one, after we figured it out and didn't fail, is just remove this bolt right here. And you can hook up your engine hoist, and it will keep the cab level pretty much as you go up. You don't have to worry about it tilting too much. It's right in the center, so works pretty good. Plus, we're going to use the Genie lift on the other side, and having the 2 bars keeps it pretty level too. So should come up now with no problem. Plus, we got the shift linkage done, and I can't think of anything else, but I'm sure there's something else that I forgot to mention. But we are just about ready to go up here.
All right, yep, I'm good. So what I need, bro...
Sorry for all the talking.
Get me a good pair of channel locks, not those ones.
All right, he's having problems with the e-brake. There we go. All right, now this guy here, when you put this bolt back in, I put a little washer on there. The most important thing is you want to torque this down to spec. So you want to give this about 4 ugga-uggas. That was a few more than 4. But she should hold. All right, so we got the lift ready to go on that side. Lance is over here. He's already got the Genie ready to go. We got the e-brake cable off. We should be 100% okay to go up now. All right. Moving up time. Now that's nice good. What do you think from the weight perspective? I think I'm getting a lot of front bobble here.
I don't know.
All right.
Should I move down a little more?
That guy just needs to feet out. Okay.
Feels front heavy.
Well, maybe we're... Well, it is, because we're... I don't know. Well, the steering shaft is not coming out.
Okay,
Yeah.
that might be what's pulling me. Oh, I see what you're saying.
go.
That's out.
Yep, I think let's keep going.
Uh-oh, we got something holding. The whole front of the truck just lifted up. Oh, ground cable. Yeah, that one needs to come off.
All right, so we really are, it's pretty much dark out, but we got it up. We are going to put the jack under the pumpkin. Well, I guess we already got it there. And we're not going to take the wheels off this time because we have it up so high that we should be able to just leave that underneath of it and jack it up over top of the genie lift and the engine hoist on this side. So then we'll just go straight in the garage with it. We'll put the cab back down on our cart, which is way over here. Actually, I'm going to bring it over. And then the rollback will come tomorrow or whatever, or shortly, to pick up the frame and everything. Can't wait for this thing to fall off the jack, hit the stands.
Whole thing collapses. I'm running, dude. Just a heads up on that.
It would be amazing if it did. Just for everybody watching the channel, if this thing falls down, and as long as we don't get hurt, I think that's good content.
1, 2, and 3. Okay, hold on. That was pretty good.
One more.
Yep, I'm just kind of under it, so I'm trying to avoid that a little bit.
Yep.
Are you guys ready?
Yep.
1, 2, and 3.
Well, I gotta say, I think Lance will agree. Was this one a little less drama than the first time? So, just gotta let her down now. But look at this bad boy, man. Yeah, there's the business end. These wires here, I don't think, we did tug on this cable a little bit, but I think it was actually sort of messed up before. So that's something we gotta look at. Fuel tank, obviously. Just general cleanup. There we go. So with that down and this in the garage, we do have to clear out a space because it's going to rain tomorrow. We want to take off the fifth wheel hitch or gooseneck, whatever, because we're not going to be towing with this truck much. And if we do, it'd just be on the rear hitch. But the actual hitch on this guy is a like show truck, just barely usable one. It's not rated for much. Right now, he just opened up the box for the fuel tank, this new cross member that's going to run across here. That somewhere along the way got misplaced. Like, I don't know how you misplaced that, but it did happen. And you can see that the gas tank actually got rubbed a little bit on this side. We're not going to worry about cleaning up the fuel tank right now. I said gas tank. That's going to get me in a bunch of trouble. Fuel tank. Because they're going to pressure wash everything in here when they coat the frame. The other things we need to focus on, U-joints definitely are bad. Seals for the transfer case we're going to replace. We're also going to do the the pan gasket for the transmission, as well as the linkage, where it's actually leaking. That's the one that's leaking, but you got to pull the pan to get to it. So we're going to replace that. And then we're just going to clean up everything here on the engine. Man, it would be so sick. We were just talking about to throw a bigger turbo up there because this is just the factory one, but I think we're going to leave it.
If there's any followers of this channel that have a turbo that is good,
yeah,
it would be an upgrade turbo that you want to donate to the cause, we will give you a plug.
Yeah, a big plug.
Huge plug.
Yeah.
Like 10 episodes.
Yeah, your channel can suck and we'll still give you a plug. Then we got some new front suspension components coming in the mail. Some of them are here now. We'll talk about that more in another episode. But I think it is time. We're going to wrap it up here for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you stopping by. Have a good one.